Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Super Eye Patch Wolf, and yes, I'm going to check out the Garfield video, and yes, I'm going to check out the Berserk video. I have my reasons for checking this one out first, which I don't want to go too much into. It's very frustrating, but we're going to check out the current state of Shonen Jump 2022. I really enjoy these as well. I like checking these out every year, and I do have my reasons for prioritising this, but I don't want to go into it. So let's just check it out. The current state of Shonen Jump 2022.
Hello, welcome to the current state of Shonen Jump 2022.
Alright.
The video series where I spend a significant portion of my time and life energy dissecting and analysing what is essentially a magazine made for children.
Well, pretty much, I guess.
One, understanding this magazine right now is a window into what anime and manga will be in the future.
It does shape it, yes.
Dr. Stone, Promise Neverland, or Spy X Family were going to be big? Well, you could have just watched my video from 5 years ago.
Damn.
I mean, I didn't see Demon Slayer coming, but I mean, manga about swords? How's that gonna work? The second, and honestly more important reason is that these videos are my way of exposing newer, lesser-known titles.
That's true. Yeah, it's like, come on.
Wider global audience.
They could grow.
So,
is that Mashal? Oh.
Their chance of success. So, for example, 2 years
Chainsaw
ago,
Man.
I talked about the early days of Chainsaw Man with the frothing enthusiasm
Jesus,
of
so
an
good.
overly birthday-caked child. And now, 2 years later,
The anime's
Chainsaw Man
here.
has become one of the most anticipated releases
Hell
of the
yes.
year. Coincidence?
Maybe.
Yes. That is a coincidence.
Quite probably.
To think otherwise would be delusionally narcissistic.
Damn.
Even by my standards. So, in order to find out where we are, we gotta look back at where
we were.
2020 was without doubt the most bizarre year in the history of manga, and especially Jump. It was a year where we finally saw the immortal God King of Shonen, One Piece, wrenched from its throne and thoroughly outsold by another series. Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Only in a twist of Shakespearean tragedy for Demon Slayer to vanish from existence, leaving a power vacuum at Jump's peak. And it is
because it finished, didn't it? Yeah.
that empty throne that took place in 2021 that I want to talk about today. And so, in a video that is a little later than usual for reasons I can only summarize with this image,
Garfield.
we begin our surgical dissection.
I'll check it out.
And as ever, start with the most depressing part. That's right. It's our yearly pilgrimage to the Shonen Jump graveyard.
Oh God.
It is the brutal reality of Jump that on any
A lot
given
gets
year,
cancelled, doesn't it?
around a third of its ongoing titles will be cut.
Oh mate.
2021 was no exception. Beautiful Idiot Simulator, Gravity Boys, Subnautical Furry Manga, Hardball Cop and Dolphin, and actually battle manga Build King all disappeared.
Oh, okay. Never heard of any of those, but alright.
We never really know why a series ends. Looking at their volume sales can at least give us some insight. Take Gravity Boys.
Stats.
Its first volume sold just under 10,000 units in its first 4 weeks. 10,000 units is the rough benchmark a new series needs to hit if
right,
it
to
wants
start
a
off.
decent chance of survival, which this series just about did, but the problem is that exponential growth is expected from there. With the
and it just stayed this. Oh no.
Dropping to just 6.5 thousand units.
It needs to go higher.
It was pulled from Jump's pages.
Damn.
Dolphin suffered a similar fate after a switch to a more battle-focused story failed to pull it out of its sales tailspin.
Oh, mate.
As did Build King, which to me is always going to be a great premise, immaculately fumbled. However, one series end I did not see coming was Phantom Seer.
What is this?
Beautifully drawn supernatural battle manga that blew past the 10k benchmark, and from there, sales growing volume, only for it to hit a sudden, baffling end. And I really can't figure out what happened here. On paper, this was the exact kind of
that looks sick. Whoa!
Well executed with some good
very Parasite-esque stuff going on in the hands there.
Sales backing it up. The problem was likely something more complicated and unknowable. Interpersonal drama, author health issues, maybe Jump's editor-in-chief just didn't believe in the series. We just don't know, but whatever it was, Phantom Seer's 30 short chapters are a reminder
30 chapters?
of how opaque and cutthroat the world of Jump can be.
Damn.
30
chapters! I was thinking volumes. Jesus, that's not a lot at all!
Out of their first
Whoa!
year. A fate suffered by sports title Nine Dragons Ball Parade, which wins my award for my favourite
What a name!
of a new
That's
series,
class, yeah!
But also the lowest opening weekly sales I have ever seen.
Oh,
and while everything about
no.
this title feels like a perfectly functional team-building sports shonen, I think the issue may be that it's a little too inside baseball. What I mean by this is that for someone like me who is so utterly unfamiliar with baseball that I am mildly convinced it does not exist, Ball's Parade assumes a basic level of knowledge that left me lost in exchanges like, that fastball ain't gonna work on me. His confidence is the key. He leans in, anticipating an outside pitch, just like his first at bat. He's a lefty sidearmer. We've had all righties up to
Oh,
now,
mate,
so
no. I have
we'll
no
be
idea what the freaking hell's going on here. What?
Okay. I'm aware that the Japanese children this magazine is aimed at are likely going to be more familiar with baseball
That's
than I
a
am,
lot.
but requiring that level of knowledge is going to eat into any potential audience
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way that other better sports titles just don't. And I think it's because
Yeah, like, don't give
of
too much
that
detail.
Ball's Parade crashed out of Jump's pages at just 20 chapters.
Damn.
Faring not much better was I Tell C.
Ooh, hello.
A story about a female detective whose past kidnapping has traumatized her into a state where she falls in love with her criminal targets before yandere stalking them into confessing their crimes.
What?
Well, there's a lot to unpack.
Whoa.
None of which I am going to actually.
That is weird.
To this title. The first chapter was really cleverly constructed.
Yeah.
The story had the odd, really touching moments, but this was an uncomfortable read.
That sounds uncomfortable.
And just
Jesus.
Sales and a brief 21 chapter run. I think the bigger issue
I
is
Tell
that this was
C.
just way too weird for Jump's audience, which is the exact opposite problem of Niru, Way of the Martial Artist.
Okay.
This manga has fantastic artwork.
Whoa, that looks amazing.
If you would like to know, was there anything else remotely interesting about it? Listen to my voice. Look at this editing. Does it sound like I found even one other compelling talking point here?
Wow, boring.
Exactly.
Damn.
Actually, you know, I just watched that bit back, and I think that might be too mean. The artwork really is very
Hey,
good.
that looks absolutely class.
Is-
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't think I would
Damn.
need sales figures to know that any of these series weren't going to last. Before things get a little less predictable, we're with the two new battle titles that Jump introduced.
Okay, what do we get?
Both of which made a big impact with an
What are
impressive
these?
first chapter, both of which were dust by year's end.
Oh.
Candy Flurry grabs your attention with
Whoa.
surreal imagery. The image of Tokyo destroyed by a gigantic meteor rain of lollipops
That's
is just
crazy.
so insane.
That is mental.
Beautiful and such an exciting introduction to this world, where people battle by manifesting giant items of confectionery.
Okay.
But unfortunately, once that initial impact wears off, you start to see Candy Flurry for what it really is. Because the wild tone of its visuals never carries through to its characters or writing. You
Oh.
can replace the giant candy weapons with psychic powers, samurai swords, or Pokemon.
Oh, you could do
and
anything.
It wouldn't make any difference to the story. This would still be the same generic cookie-cutter shonen.
That's a bit
battler.
lame, but okay.
Because all Candy Flurry ends up being is a very standard story draped in a cool aesthetic. And at just 5k volumes sold in its first month, it opened weak and things did not get better.
Interesting.
The biggest shock for me personally, however, was the fairy tale battle manga Hunter's Guild.
The Hunter's Guild Red Hood.
If you had just shown me the first chapter, my response would have been, oh, Wow, cool. This could totally end up being one of Jump's top 10 manga. A darkly original story inspired by the world's Whoa. Grim, depicted through some gosh darn beautiful artwork, each page layered with texture and care that makes it feel like some beautiful forgotten page from some
that's awesome.
There was a lot to like here, which is why it was kind of painful to watch that potential bleed.
Damn.
As Red Hood shows the difference between creating a single impactful chapter and maintaining an ongoing weekly series.
Right.
I imagine that gorgeous detailed artwork must have been a nightmarish standard to keep up, and as the art quality begins to fall, other problems begin to raise their heads. The characters doing little to evolve past their initial shonen archetype as the story's pace grinds to a tedious crawl.
The weekly stuff must be hard. It must be so freaking hard. I can't even imagine.
Selling just 4,000 units on its first volume, Red Hood's fate was clear.
Oh no!
Actually see the author struggle with that looming cancellation as its later chapters grow weirdly meta. Its characters exclaiming, "A story that doesn't entertain is abandoned. Once abandoned."
Oh, whoa, let's put it out there.
Ultimately, what I think Red Hood ends up being is a series where the crushing realities of what it is to maintain an ongoing weekly shonen are pulled sharply into focus.
Damn.
This is, as ever, the harsh reality of Jump. Failing titles disappear so that potentially much bigger titles
can appear and shine.
2021 was a year where Jump really needed those bigger hits, which arguably it did not find in 2020, with a group of titles that, despite their quality, were not the breakout successes that Jump needed, putting a lot of pressure on 2021's newest series. The first of which is the manga.
What an interesting name.
The first of which is the manga. I don't want a bunch of fucking people in the comments telling me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Sometimes the author just picks a bad title.
They're like, what is that? That's
sometimes it's just a bad title. Why is there an X there? Why is there an X there if you don't say it? And you know, while we're on the subject, I say JoJo's as shorthand because it's not called JoJo Bizarre Adventure, you fucking idiots! And you have the gall to come into my house and tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my god. Damn, that killed me.
Bar one, our main character, who is so mediocre at piano that his parents got divorced. Wow, that's really unfortunate. This is the new title for
what?
I enjoyed the least, but
no.
the most. It has some of the worst page design I have ever seen from a published
yeah, that's all over the place.
Actually drags your attention
away
in two separate directions.
Oh god.
Some of the layouts being so cluttered, I found it difficult to decipher what is
going on.
And shit like this is usually a death knell for me in manga, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think there wasn't something here.
Yeah.
This is a strange music-based non-battle battle manga built on our ability to drag people into different memories and realities through his music. In a story about how our capacity to convey emotion through art is more important than technical proficiency, which for this title is appropriate. And honestly, while I would have initially predicted this series dead on arrival, its first volume sold a respectable 12,000 units, suggesting a potentially bright future for this unusual but compelling series.
Right.
On the total
music stuff is so difficult to portray, though. What?
Jesus. What? Opposite, because this manga feels like it was test tube constructed in a sanitized laboratory by white-coated shonen scientists.
Okay.
The story of a boy fighting demons with a magical sword. No, not that one.
Not that one.
Not that
one. Not that one either.
Still not
okay, keep going.
Oh, come on, it's definitely not that one. There we go. That is kind of the problem here. Despite the fact that I think
there's so many.
Actually pretty well executed, it's hard to get excited about.
He looks like Natsu.
Its entire story
Okay, he doesn't now then, but he's got the scar on his head. Like, oh my god. Okay.
Its one unique selling point being its mascot character, Doran,
Okay.
whose body can morph into basically anything, leading to some honestly pretty fun battle scenarios and potentially huge merchandise. Which basically kind of makes me wonder, is that why this series exists? At the time of writing, I only had access to a single week of sales, which 4K isn't bad, but it's also the weakest selling of Jump's ongoing series,
Jesus.
which could make it a likely candidate for the Shonen Jump guillotine. Another new title whose chances of survival I would give a shaky, hand-wavy sign of
what is this?
I don't know, bro. Is the comedy title Protect Me, Shugamaru.
Okay.
A story of the wealthy heiress of a massive fortune and her eccentric 10-year-old bodyguard, whose enthusiasm to protect his client often lands her in more danger than the themselves.
Bless.
That is the joke. It is a reasonably good one. But the reason I have my doubts
Yeah.
about the future of
There's only
this
so
series
much you can do with it though, isn't there?
one of 5 other ongoing comedy manga, and while I like it an atom slice better than Roboco and Magu-chan, it is a far cry from the stupefying action comedy of Mashle or just the mind-destroying hilarity of High School Family Kazaku, all of which at this point are known quantities.
Interesting.
So, not so
Mashle's doing very well.
A title that seems a little more bound for glory is Witch Watch, a comedy about a teenage ogre who becomes the familiar/bodyguard to a high school witch.
Cool.
And I will say that aside from the one scene where Nico transforms herself into a piece of paper and gets stuck in the side of a building, which is just, I mean, it's just objectively great, I didn't actually get a whole lot out of this one.
Wow.
But then again, what do I know about comedy? I mean, did you see how happy I was about that baseball joke? that was weird. Because this manga is actually selling really well, likely because of its broad swath of action, comedy, and romance, letting it appeal to a much wider audience.
Okay, yeah. Expand. Let other people, let more people enjoy it.
31,000 units on its first volume, outpacing the initial sales of every new title from last year, meaning we could be looking at a new Shonen Jump mainstay. Whether that's also true of new legacy title Ayashimon is a little more nebulous. There was a lot of hype.
Ayashimon, that looks cool.
Creator of Hell's Paradise.
I've heard of that. I've heard of Hell's Paradise, so okay.
Of an unkillable ninja assassin who must journey to a forbidden island along with a group of other criminals and their samurai captors, and then battle royale their way to obtaining the elixir of life, all while attempting to survive the horrific creatures that inhabit the island.
Jesus, the hands kind of the eyes, man.
Incredibly fun binge manga with a weirdly perfect first chapter that both got you invested in its characters while also dragging you further into its story with its ominous, tantalizing mysteries. And unfortunately, right now, I don't know that Ayashimon is hitting that same standard. Don't get me wrong, there's a ton to like here, and this is rooted firmly as my 3rd favorite new series.
Damn.
It's Shonen protagonist Maru growing up obsessed with
3rd favorite.
Shonen protagonist.
That's quite cool.
In order to protect himself from his physically abusive father, until he became so strong that he no longer really fits in regular human society.
Go ahead, lad.
Only for him to be recruited by the heiress of a demon underworld Yakuza clan.
Yo,
seeking
sick.
to regain her throne after her father's murder. The underworld of demon mob bosses feels alive and fascinating with some really cool world building touches.
Whoa, interesting looking things going on there.
Money which the victor can then use to build their own Yakuza empire. And this is when I think Ayashimon is at its strongest. When it's leaning into the culture and dynamics of warring Yakuza factions, which is why it's kind of a bummer that so much of the series is spent in straightforward one-on-one battles. In fights that are fun, but I'd argue nowhere near the standard of Jump's top 5 current series, all of which are
looks so cool though. Whoa.
The problem is how this is currently one of 4 different bodyguard titles running in Jump.
It's playing it safe though, isn't it? If stuff is selling, then just sell it. Ugh.
But at 18,000 units sold, it's not likely to be caught anytime soon. And to
that
reach
looks
that
cool,
next level,
man.
which is something I'm really rooting for it to do, I think it's going to need to focus on what it can do differently to those other titles as opposed to what it does the same. Case in point, Elusive Samurai.
Ooh.
Hojo is a young feudal lord whose family is murdered and their land seized as he is hunted down, forcing him to rely on his one strength, his ability to evade danger.
Cool.
There is so much to like about this series, but its real
Looks very well
ace in the
drawn.
whole can actually be found in the author's previous title, Assassination Classroom.
Whoa! Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Love Assassination Classroom. Damn.
In order to kill their monstrous teacher, Koro Sensei. And what I fucking love.
This is music from Ghost in the Shell, isn't it? That's in the
Samurai
background. Anyway.
uses Assassination Classroom's hyper-specific scenario-driven combat onto a more ambitious story.
Whoa.
With each feudal lord that Hojo targets being their own individual Koro Sensei with their own set of strengths and weaknesses.
Cool.
Vulnerabilities that Hojo cannot exploit himself due to his own physical weakness, meaning he must build up a roster of retainers and utilize those allies in hyper-specific ways in order to take down his bigger, stronger
Wow.
opponents.
Cool.
In battles that explode with all the tension and excitement of a high-level game of Monster Hunter. And with these videos, I generally aim to read at least one full volume of any new series I talk about. But Elusive Samurai dragged me into its chapters double digits.
Cool.
And I
Nice.
really don't
Sounds awesome.
seem to be alone in that. At 91,000 sales
Damn,
on
go
its
ahead.
first volume.
Whoa.
For context, that's more than the sales of every new series from last year combined.
That's...
Elusive
Oh, wow, damn, that's some
Samurai is a
numbers.
Staggering success. A
Go ahead.
potential future member of Jump's 3 Pillars, and about as close to a guaranteed hit as you can get.
Amazing.
Which is what I would say if another new
Oh,
series
okay.
had somehow not completely
What we got?
surpassed it. So, a long time ago, I was in Dublin's Natural History Museum.
Okay.
I was there drawing for a college class, and I look up, and this girl is just standing there looking at me. I think sometimes people find my face a little intimidating.
Okay.
I think something about the way I look makes me seem more like serious or stern than I actually am.
Okay.
But this girl, she didn't seem intimidated at all. She just stared at me with these giant, curious eyes.
Right, where are we going with
And
this?
she starts speaking, and I don't even remember what we talked about, but what I do remember is over the course of this conversation, looking up at her and having this lightning bolt feeling in my chest of just like, oh no, I think I really like this person.
Huh.
Moments like that are what Blue Box is built on. And
Blue
I use
Box.
that story because there is a tenderness and sincerity to this manga that I just don't think you're going to get from a Wikipedia-esque plot summary.
Okay, interesting.
It uses a lot of the tropes and structure from sports manga, but rather than the focus being on these sports themselves, here the sports are used to frame each individual character, becoming windows into them through which we and the other characters of the story can see who they really are.
Right.
Leading to these really sincere feeling moments of just, oh god, I think I love this person. The care and level of illustration through which these moments are rendered, making them hit with all the force of some runaway romantic dump truck. To
Damn.
the point that even if you do not care about romance manga,
You will.
really owe it to yourself to check this manga
Blue
out.
Box. Sat
The
off.
one-shot prototype
Yeah.
chapter is available for free on Shonen Jump's website,
Ooh.
and it's worth experiencing not only because this manga just fucking rules, but because it will give you an insight into how Blue Box has become a once every couple of years mega hit.
Cool.
The first volume selling 65,000
Whoa,
units,
that's so much
which
more than the
is
last one.
already
The last one was
kind of incredible.
19,000.
But from there, exploding further, surpassing even Elusive
Blue
Samurai.
Box.
Now
Whoa.
consistently selling 100,000 units, meaning this romance manga is currently a front-runner to become one of Jump's 3 pillars.
Damn!
That is the last new series. It is now time for the most exciting part of our journey.
Let's go.
That's right, it's Hunter by Hunter Watch.
And it's still nowhere to be seen. Where is it? It's nowhere. Yeah, I want more as well. I really do.
So before we begin our top 10,
There
I'll
we
do
go.
a brief update on Sakamoto Days.
What? Okay.
This was my favourite new series from Jump last year, but also the one whose future I was most worried about.
Okay.
The story of a former assassin now working as a convenience store.
Oh, I do remember him actually talking about this,
living a
yeah.
normal family life while also not giving in to his murderous tendencies was beautiful. It was funny. It was
Looks
touching,
great,
it was
like, the art
action-packed,
styles
and thankfully, it
seems very
was
comedic,
also
yeah.
successful. After a mediocre start, its sales have grown volume to volume. Now
Awesome.
75,000 units on its most
Cool.
recent, which for a series that is so outside the genre of Little Boy Tries Hard, this is the best possible.
Yeah, it's always about following the teenager growing up in it.
Well, there's also these titles.
On Dead
which
on
are-
Lock.
which are still ongoing,
Hell,
and
yes.
They're fine. Don't really have any.
Aw, I'm buying Undead Unlock. I'm reading it. I'm really enjoying it. Like Marshall, Undead Unlock.
So I should
Zone 100 is not a Shonen Jump
start the next
volume, though, is it? So,
section instead of just
yes, here we go.
just kind of rambling on here. We're now kind of. I've got to the stage where I'm just not saying anything. You know, these are just words coming out. This is a camera point, like, you know, when you point a camera at a television that's recording itself, and it's just this infinite hallway of nothingness. That's what you're experiencing right now. And
I haven't read a lot of Undead Unlock. I've got the first 5 volumes, but I've read the first 3, so it's like.
Should probably try and up the energy here.
Let's go.
We now enter the arena of destiny.
Yo, let's go.
Jump's top 10 biggest series with these caveats. At number 10 is a new entry.
Marshall.
Action comedy Marshall.
Woo!
Which is like if One Punch Man showed up in Hogwarts and beat the shit out of
Exactly.
Voldemort. It's always awesome to see a series enter the top 10 for the first time, but with Marshall, this is especially well deserved, and I'm really excited to see how the series does from here. At number 9 is veteran
yes.
series Black Clover, which has haunted
Yo.
the lower spaces of Jump's top 10.
I
for
fell
as
off, but I
long
need to get back in because apparently it's doing sick.
Sales are reasonably consistent yet again, and while I've been skeptical about this title's future in the past, at this point I'm kind of
Everyone seems to love the manga, man. Wow, I need to get back in it.
Jump's landscape is brutal and survival is never guaranteed, and so you've got to respect
Yep.
any series that's
That is there. Really do.
At number 8, this one I gotta say hit me a bit. I actually talked about Dr. Stone as a new title
Oh.
in my very first, very bad
Yeah.
current state of Shonen Jump video.
Aw.
Now, 5 years later, it's the last of those new titles that survived. It's a series I really grew to love over the years. It didn't have the strongest start, but it won my respect in its willingness
Please don't spoil.
reorient
I'm
itself
anime
around
only.
a new main character, and in doing so, commit to its strengths, becoming one of the most unique and wildly innovative new titles in Jump for decades, which is why I've always considered it a title that got less success than it deserved. Until this year. Nearly quadrupling its sales last year, but unfortunately just a little too late, as Dr. Stone released its final chapter on March 6th of this year.
Oh.
While it sucks that it's gone,
Damn.
it's awesome to see so many people waking up to what a great series this was.
Oh, does it have a good ending? Oh,
Dr. Stone is always going to be a testament to how much territory there is still left to explore in shonen storytelling.
right.
At number 7, it's the first zombie on our list, and I say zombie because this series has actually been dead for more than a year, and yet somehow
What is
the promised
still there?
Neverland still sold 3.5
Oh,
million
the anime was-
units. But if the fact that
Huh.
it's still selling in the millions in its zombified
That's
state doesn't signal to you that
crazy.
the series worth checking out, then buddy, I don't know what will. At number 6 Oh my god, it's another zombie. It's the shambling corpse of Haikyuu.
Haikyuu's still going.
4.3
Wow, it's still selling.
million sales.
Bloody
I
hell.
really thought that last year would be the final times we talk about the beautiful boys doing things well. Volleyball.
Promised
manga,
Neverland is still
those
doing.
enthusiastic little idiots sure showed me Haikyuu enjoying a well-deserved afterburn.
Absolutely crazy.
At number 5, it's another fucking zombie, but this time it is the most beautiful zombie imaginable. My absolute favorite modern manga. It's Chainsaw Man.
Yo,
I have talked
I am
lot about
loving it.
Chainsaw Man in
Loving
these videos, and I
it.
won't have
Can't
anything
wait
more
to see it
say
animated.
until I have more to say. The announcement of an anime with a phenomenal trailer spiking
Looks
its
nice.
further to an insane 5.5 million.
Yo.
And considering how weird and unpredictable this series initially seemed in
Yeah.
Jump, I can now feel we are living in Chainsaw Man's best possible time.
Hell yeah.
At number 4, this one is fucking weird.
What we got?
It's One Piece.
Oh, a 4!
Somehow One Piece, the manga that defined Shonen
What?
for a quarter of a century, has for the first time in the recorded history of manga sales failed to enter its
The top 3.
dropping about
Whoa,
7%
that's crazy.
from last year. Now, there is definitely a big caveat here. One Piece is still selling the most if we measure sales per
Completely from volume 1 to
still
yeah.
looking at the technically most popular manga in the world. But that abyss-like gap that used to exist between One Piece and other titles
Doesn't
is
exist.
now gone.
Damn.
Certain volumes of the manga in our number 1 slot even outselling volumes of One Piece. And maybe even more shockingly,
Ooh.
while One Piece is
I don't even know what's gonna be
it's
there.
number 6 overall, being outsold by both Attack on Titan and Tokyo Revengers.
Right. Oh.
So, what is happening? Well, from the volume sales, the problem doesn't look like One Piece's current fans aren't enjoying it. The problem is that it's not really acquiring new fans, which we can tell by
Right.
the little back issues itself.
'Cause it's so
in relation to
old.
the series. And I think the reason for that is that at this point, One Piece is like a video game whose meta has evolved.
It's in the hundreds now. Jesus.
That conveying what is happening right now
In the volumes.
why it's cool requires a massive amount of supplemental information and knowledge of past story events.
Like, I only just got into One Piece this last year.
Kept One Piece so strong for so long. Its gigantic, dense world and its meticulous long-term storytelling are now arguably perceived as detriments to new readers.
Damn.
I tried reading some One Piece, and then I actually got overwhelmed by how long that series is. Like, I looked at, like, okay.
Just read it at your own pace.
Yeah, as a completionist
Jesus.
person, I just couldn't.
According to the One Piece wiki, there are 1,364 named characters in the story at this point, which
Whoa.
is a massive amount of
That is a lot.
information for
That is a
new
lot.
readers to take on, as well as the fact that if you read One Piece for 30 minutes every single day, it would take you an entire year to catch up on its story. In that same time frame, you could read all of Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
And so no matter how worthwhile One Piece might seem,
Yeah, people are going to want to digest that more.
that is a hell of an opportunity.
Yeah, that's
I do think
understandable.
One Piece can expect an upturn in sales from next year with the release of the Shanks movie.
Oh, yeah.
But even with all these caveats taken into account, it's hard to look at One Piece outside of Jump's top 3 and not see it as anything other than the dominant era of this
That's
title
weird. That is so
well
strange.
and truly over. At number 3, for the first time in 3 years, it's My Hero Academia.
Yo,
selling One
go
Piece
Ed.
by just 20,000 units. While Hero Academia has never had the explosive growth of other titles, it's a manga that seems to keep its core fan base consistently happy. And
Yeah.
with 3 movies in 4 years, as well as a seasonal high-quality anime, it also has a strong pull with a more casual audience, which is why I think you're seeing such consistent.
I still need to watch the last season. Jesus.
Horikoshi has stated that the manga is going to end soon, but he's gotten me with this before, and now I refuse to believe his
Yes,
lies.
we will see it
At
when it
number
happens.
2, it is yet another zombie manga. It's Demon Slayer at
It's
a
still there.
batshit
Cool.
insane 29 million sales.
Yo.
Despite being dead for more than a year, the most meteoric rise of any manga ever continues.
Entertainment District art was sick, man. Very simple and straightforward, but yo.
Possible benchmark that all future titles will be measured against. The only thing more shocking than that being that it's not even number one. At 31 million sales,
Jujutsu Kaisen, holy yo.
Number one Shonen Jump series.
Whoa.
An extremely strong second season of anime saw Jujutsu Kaisen's sales quintuple since last year, with a feature film that released at the tail end of that year.
I still need to see that film as well, man. Oh my god.
Sales are not likely to slow anytime soon, cementing Jujutsu Kaisen as the newest of Jump's 3 pillars, and right now, the biggest manga in the entire world.
I need to see that film still, thank god.
I think it deserves it. Jujutsu Kaisen for me is the middle ground of what I think will be popular versus what I think should be popular, embodying a lot of what's great about traditional battle manga, but defining itself through its dark, supernatural aesthetic.
Yeah, that really appeals to a lot of people recently, doesn't it? Like, have that dark undertone, like, well, not undertone, just like have that darkness going on.
Remains to be seen, but right now, no ongoing series even comes close to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Damn, so where would it go from here?
So, if we take a top-down view of Jump, it's in a really strange situation. In some ways, it's in a lot more of a stable position than last year, with the maturing of newer series like Sakamoto Days and Mashle, combined with high-potential new series like Elusive Samurai and Blue Box, as well
Elusive
as
Samurai and Blue
Jujutsu
Box, they're the two I need to
Kaisen,
remember
now
there.
one of the magazine's 3 pillars. But, right now, a full half of Jump's top 10 selling titles are zombies, most of which have
That
been
is
for more than
really
a year.
interesting. People are still
We
buying the old
likely
ones, man.
expect a sharp sales drop in each soon.
Yeah,
Leaving
quite
Jump in a
probably.
situation where it still has a ways to go in bolstering a new catalog
Let
of titles
new
it
stuff
wants to
rise
stay
up, so
dominant,
what's gonna do it?
especially in a landscape of manga that's changing rapidly and dramatically.
Mate.
The biggest shock we witnessed in last year's video was undoubtedly the total dominance of
Demon Slayer, yeah.
a perfect storm that led to an impossible outcome, but in the shadow of that storm, there was another upset, and one that could potentially have much greater long-term ramifications on the industry. The rise
Spy
of
Family.
Jump Plus.
Oh yeah, Jump Plus, right, yeah.
Magazine from the same publisher as Jump, which shockingly saw 2 of its newest titles, Spy X Family and Kaiju Number A, dramatically
Yeah,
outsell
Volume 1 of Kaiju Number 8.
series
Whoa.
of Jump Regular. However, in 2021, we watched as Jump Regular
Kaiju Number 8
hard,
needs an
with both
adaptation.
Elusive
Oh my
Samurai and
god.
Blue Box, meaning that same upset couldn't happen again. Except it totally did. In yet another twist in the war for the future of the industry,
What's going on?
Jump Plus has done the impossible again and introduced 2 new titles, both of which dramatically outsold the newer efforts
No
of
way,
Jump
what?
Regular. I know that was very dramatic.
That was.
I like getting excited.
Let's go.
Now we're going to talk about it. Most manga tend to specialize in one thing: action, comedy, horror, romance. But then you have Dandadan, telling the story of Momo, a high school girl who believes in ghosts, as well as Ken, a high school boy who believes in aliens. And unfortunately for them, they are both correct.
Whoa.
Dandadan is fucking
Whoa.
wild. It's filled with a kind of strange humor that makes its pages feel like some weird fan-translated meme edits, but punctuating that levity with moments of intense visual.
Whoa, that's weird.
As Momo and Ken encounter bizarre supernatural creatures in pounding action scenes that flow with a level of ingenuity and layout that I genuinely wouldn't expect from a manga like this. Like in this page, how the gesture of Ken's body guides your eye through each of the layout's focal points.
Yeah, man, that's
Making
cool.
for action scenes that flow like liquid but then explode in these
Yo, that looks sick. What's
spreads.
going on?
Somehow, amidst all that, Dandadan actually pulls off a pretty compelling will-they-won't-they romance.
Oh,
making
that's
it
nice
feel
as well. I
some
love stuff like that going on in the
bizarre
background.
X-Files battle manga fever dream,
Yo.
which really should not work, but my god, does it.
Awesome.
And what's interesting is that I'd imagine Dandadan's wilder tone would make it a poor fit for Jump Regular, but in the more experimental online landscape of Jump Plus, Dandadan has thrived, going
The Spy
massively
Family is
viral,
fucking
collecting
exploding in the anime, isn't it?
106
Whoa!
leading to Dandadan breaking 100,000 units on its first volume, with sales steadily climbing
That's sick.
from there. And then, oh boy, it's Takopi's original sin.
What is this?
Takopi is a cute alien octopus from the Happy Planet who descends to
Okay.
Earth with a single mission: make someone smile.
Huh.
But unfortunately for Takopi, the someone he chooses is Shizuka, a little girl whose father has left, suffers abusive neglect at home, and vicious bullying at school to the point that her dog is killed. Oh dear. And,
Oh my
and just when it seems
God,
like things
what?
can't get any bleaker, Takopi follows Shizuka home only to find her. You know what? I don't feel like getting demonetized today, so I'm not going to.
Oh,
Takopi's
no.
original sin is the kind of dark that makes you text your friend at 2 a.m. being like, dude, what the fuck? And that's
Oh,
what
no.
makes it such an impossible fit for Jump Regular, but also likely what made it go so massively viral.
Yeah, like,
online.
so out there.
76 million views across just a handful of chapters, and from there, leading to a bewildering 188,000 units on its first volume.
Shonen
That is more
Plus is
than
working,
Elusive
man.
Samurai and Blue Box combined. But possibly the strangest thing about Takopi is that it's already over.
Oh.
Takopi's original sin ended after just 16 chapters.
Oh.
But that feels very much by design. Original sin's
Yeah.
original premise never could have maintained a longer running
So
story.
it just did what it
But with
needed to.
exposure like this, it doesn't need to.
Right,
It's
cool,
already
alright.
outselling many of Jump's ongoing titles, but given its gigantic online audience, the potential for anime adaptation and merchandise is huge. Meaning, we could be looking at an entirely new business model for manga.
Interesting, yeah.
Shorter, more experimental, shocking, and mature
Get more stuff
series
out there.
designed to go viral on platforms like
And then release
Jump
it.
Plus,
Get an anime out there.
which
Get the
then
DVD
aim
out
to
there.
make
Get the
further
products out
profit
there.
through
Then do
animated
something else
merch.
again.
Their author now free to create newer titles that could potentially do the same.
Amazing.
In other words, the exact opposite of how traditional
Yes.
long-running shonen
Weekly
work.
stuff for years.
I think there's a lot of advantage to that.
Crazy.
I think this could potentially be a healthier, more sustainable
could
business
be.
model for the people who create manga, while simultaneously breathing new life into shonen with more varied experimental stories. Whether Original Sin is an anomaly or an actually sustainable new kind of manga remains to be seen.
We'll see,
but
yeah.
Still, it's a tantalizing glimpse into what could be a big part of shonen's future.
Yo, so cool.
With all this in mind, let's line up Jump's top 5 series and compare it to Jump Plus's top 4.
Oh, cool.
We can see that Jump Traditional dominates in terms
Kaiju
of
number 8 is so
volume
good.
sales, but there's a really important factor to take into account.
Okay.
All of Jump Plus's titles have been going for way less time.
Oh,
than
yeah,
any
definitely,
of
yeah.
Jump
It was like
regulars,
last year they started,
meaning
was
they
it? Or the year
haven't had
before?
the same time to build up sales through a loyal following. But also, for the period we're measuring here, none of Jump Plus's titles have an anime adaptation, while nearly all of Jump's traditional has.
Spy Family's
And with
just
Chainsaw Man
started,
pulling
hasn't it?
a heel-turn-esque faction switch jumping to Jump Plus in the coming months, it's hard for me to look at these two
Oh, yeah,
items
the
side by
continuing's
side
going
and not
there.
say that I don't think Jump Plus has the more exciting series,
Mm.
which means I do think that double negative. And what's
Bleh.
more, if Spy X Family is currently airing, anime adaptation gives the manga even a fraction of the growth we've seen from adaptations like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. There is a possibility that next year we could be seeing a free-to-read online series outsell One Piece.
That's
Man,
crazy.
if that doesn't signal to you what a weird and new era of manga we are now in, I genuinely don't know what will.
It's mental.
You know,
but it's interesting.
It makes you think. I was talking to a friend of mine recently who told me of a conversation she'd had with a younger co-worker about Demon Slayer, which her co-worker had been watching on Netflix. And when my friend compared it to Bleach, her co-worker said something that, oh god, just chilled me to my core and made me feel so old. He said, "What's Bleach?" And it made me realize that in the 7 years I've been making these videos, there's an entire era of anime and manga that has come and gone, and with it, a whole new generation of anime fans who don't know or potentially even care about what came before. People who didn't find out about anime
Akira, man.
VHS ripped copies of Akira or Late Night Toonami.
Toonami was
through
sick.
Netflix, through manga apps, through online fandoms. And if you've been watching anime for a while, I think it's really easy to be dismissive of those new fans, but I don't
accept
think
them.
we should. A, because gatekeeping fucking sucks.
Yeah.
B, I think what you're going to start seeing more and more from here is the industry responding to that new type of online.
Definitely. Well, they have to, don't they?
Shaping the manga landscape moving forward. And that's exactly what we're seeing with publications like Jump Plus. And sure, it's hard not to
Kaiju number 8's amazing.
for the way things were. I think I spend a good 60% of this channel doing just that. But everything changes, you know? And I think that's what keeps this stuff exciting.
Yeah.
I think that's why I keep making these videos.
Mates.
Friends, thank you for joining me today. I want to thank Jozu on Twitter for helping with the insane amount of research it takes to...
Hell yeah, it must have been a lot, man. That was a really interesting video. That did not feel like 50 minutes to me at all. Whoa.
Like what I do here and would like to see me keep doing
Yo.
it, you can do so over
I promise as well, I am going to check out the Garfield video and the Berserk video. It's just like, at the time of me doing this, I don't have internet and I'm having to hotspot my phone to upload stuff and it takes hours. So it just made sense to do this one because it's shorter than the other two. It's still going to take a hell of a lot of time to upload, but like, you know, it's half an hour shorter than the other two, or like, you know, it's a lot shorter than the other two videos. So yeah, I'm more likely to be able to upload this than the others, and it's still going to take forever, but I'm trying my best. Boom. That was dead good though, and it was really good to see like the different stuff like Kaiju number 8. Oh mate, I loving it. And Mashal. So the 3 that I'm reading at the moment, they're not all Shonen Jump, but I'm enjoying Kaiju number 8. I'm waiting for volume 2 to come out. Mashal, I've got the first 5 volumes of that, and Undead on Luck. It was a shame to see him put that dying off, but yeah. One Piece, it is interesting to see that drop to 4, but that's But anyway, thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video upload, a link in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all that helps support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for that, and thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and already leave comments down below. Let me know what you watch, discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys all next time.